we saw Lakey Peterson bow down in that last heat to Coco Ho, and that was a big loss for her. You know, coming into a round 2 loss, be one of those surfers that can contend here. You know, local, but applying pressure early would have to be what Johanne Defay's strategy would be, and by the looks of it, she's doing just that. Get to see Lauren now. She's the regular foot of the Macaulay family, and she can utilize that local knowledge here. She's definitely not afraid of those rocks. Wow, quick start here, and it looks like those inconsistencies are starting to back off. We get to see a lot more surf as we see. Looks like to me that Johanne has something to prove. She is digging into those maneuvers. And again, so Johanne back to back to back, and she hangs on. That was very dramatic. Good finish, and she's going to have the early lead.
Able to wrestle CT event wins away from those perennial title threats. Here we go. Johanne's up once again. Her last wave, a previous ride, came through at an 8. So she is on fire out here at the moment, also counting a 6.83. Obviously that last ride's not going into the top 2, but she is extremely busy out there at the moment. Here goes Laura. Had a couple of decent rides in the first round. Wasn't able to overcome Tyler Wright though. Laura finishing off a degree in physiotherapy, so focused on her studies as we go to the replay of Johanne's previous ride.
Look at that, just disappearing, connecting with the lip, so critical. And the fact that she is not wearing a steamer, but look at that connection. You see how she compresses in the lip, absorbs that energy, floats down, disappears. And we talked about how hard it is to control your board in that kind of a convection of white water, and you have to stay low to your board. That's exactly what she did, and she rides out of it and receives a big score, an 8-pointer.
I love that commitment to the end section. Let's take another look at it. Johanne's one of the best surfers on the championship tour. When you get these critical sections at certain locations, Fiji comes to mind, that end section at Bells Beach on the inside there where there's some rocks at times, Pete. She's one of the competitors that really throws everything at it. Here she goes again, using priority on this wave. Plenty of speed, driving up into this first section. It's been throwing down some solid turns in this heat already, pushing a little hard on that move. She goes down. It's not going to go in the top 2. As we see the replay of that last wave.
I mean, just watch her first 3 waves here, and she attacks, you know, and is not scared of the reef. You had mentioned in regards to the reef and, you know, her having lack of fear, but mostly it's where her upbringing, where she learned to surf, was all about very sharp, shallow reefs in Reunion Island. But then she pretty much honed her junior skills by going to places like Hossegor and the beach breaks of France. And so she was able to learn how to ride those hollow barrels. And so she is not afraid, attacking the lip there. And you can see visibility on the women's tour, and that right alone has made it much more valuable.
Laura Macaulay having a look at this one. Doesn't really pan out though.
You know, there's certain things that kind of pressures that you put upon yourself.
Here goes Johanne trying to get rid of that 6.83. First turn's decent, but a big section to work with here. And I love that approach.
Benefit immensely by traveling with Johanne.
Defay up once again. On wave number 6 now. So busy. Can't quite ride down off the roof of that last turn. It does step out. Here's a look back at Johanne's previous ride where she went for the big layback snap.
Look at that, just attacking, drifting the fins.
So that wasn't actually the move that we were referring to, the big layback jam prior to that. She almost pulled it down, but it's just refreshing to see someone go so aggressively at that last move, Pete, because, thank you, Barton. Coco Ho continues to roll through the draw here at Main Break Margaret River as we throw our attention back to the heat and the lineup. Laura Macaulay just not really
questioning her calls in her head.
This is Johanne having a look at wave number 8 for this heat, trying to get rid of that 6.83. She just keeps getting opportunities to push further ahead, and she's surfing this wave very well at the moment. Just has amazing patience throughout that ride.
You find that model that works for you. You find that volume. You find that width and thickness. I mean, look at this wave, so smooth, and she's like, you just see how confident she is in what her boards are going to do, and she can push it to the edge. And even though she makes a little bit of an error,
she didn't want to bow out with a 13th here in Margaret River, so she got on the attack early and posted some really decent numbers and has come home so strong. A monster heat score total 15.27, and a very easy win for the current world number 3, Laura Macaulay. Some really strong signs in the first round.